Hey, everybody out there in the internet. Welcome to episode 97 of Sis and Big Pops Culture. Yes, the countdown continues. And on this glorious ride for the last 97.5 episodes, I am Todd Turner, Big Pops, also known as Mosaic Fan Art.
And hi, sweet friends. My name is Sis, aka Hannah Jo, and together we are an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
Family friendly.
Yay!
We're recording this right now during probably the vice presidential debate. I guarantee you this is more family and friendly.
Hey, we love that.
Hey. Anywho, Hannah, tell everybody what we do here.
Hey. Hi, friends. So
we do Hamilton imitations.
We do Hamilton imitations.
Only the first half.
Only.
Inside joke.
Yes, we'll tell the inside joke because I watched Hamilton, which is why it's on my mind.
Okay,
we are going to start off by chitter-chatting about some nerd news, some things that we think are interesting. We're going to chat about what we've been watching / reading / listening to. We are going to share Pops' pull list. If you don't know what that is, don't stress, eat spaghetti. I'll explain it to you in a minute. And we're going to review the Netflix movie Uglies, which is based off of a Scott Westerfield book that was pivotal in my late childhood / early adolescence. I read it in middle school. What would you call that?
I don't know. I guess so. Yeah, I guess it would be. Yep. Okay.
Early adolescence to make Dad feel a little bit better.
I don't know. Anywho, We're going to hit that. But normally we start off with nerd news to us. Yeah, I normally do some insert your typewriter clicking, which no one does anymore, unless you got long nails. And then they clickety clack clack.
Although somebody told me on this, but I don't know
you can get a sound for your typewriter that makes it sound like a typewriter.
I wonder if that's why people like the new clickety clackety gaming keypads. If it like brings back that
clickety clack, don't talk back. I don't know. Maybe. Hannah, nerd news. Do you got anything?
I do. I have a couple pieces.
What do you have?
Do you have anything?
Oh yeah, I got a few things.
Okay. Did you hear that we're getting a Jack Reacher spinoff?
I did, with the girl.
Yes, Neagly.
So explain this to me, though. Didn't the whole entire production studio that was in charge of Jack Reacher just like close?
I'm not in charge.
Yeah, I thought they did,
Maybe.
Which is why they're like, sorry, not going to get a next season of Reacher or whatever. But
and then we're doing a Neagly spinoff.
Yeah. Okay, I'm cool with it.
What was the quote that I found? Using everything she's learned from Jack Reacher and her time as a member of the 110th Special Investigators, Neagly puts herself on a dangerous path to uncover a menacing evil.
The menacing evil. That's
when she learns that a beloved friend from her past has been killed in a suspicious accident, she becomes hell-bent on justice.
Ooh, bleep bent.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. PG-13.
Is that? I would say that's
PG.
That's PG.
Yeah. So I'll watch it. I think. I mean, if it's on Amazon somewhere where I can watch it for free, yeah. I love the Reachers, but now the Reacher shows are very adulty, so I'm assuming this will be the same way.
Oh yeah, 100% is my understanding. 100%.
Speaking of PG movies, there's a new movie coming out that I'm really looking forward to called Hit Pig. Have you seen this?
No.
Yes. So it's animated. It is a pig who's basically a bounty hunter or a detective
like
that goes and finds
but it's a pig
that goes and finds people. And this circus guy or whatever's elephant has been stolen, and he hires Hit Pig to go find his elephant. Well, you come to find out that the elephant isn't stolen. She escaped because she doesn't like to be
An
She wants to
elephant.
be free. And then everything else. And, so it looked, the trailer looked so good. It is by Berkeley Breathhead, who some people might know as the creator of Bloom County.
Cool. I don't know what that is, but cool.
Oh my gosh, Bloom County was one of the best and it was one of the best serial strips in the newspaper forever. He won a Pulitzer for it.
Oh, sick.
So
Bloom County?
Yeah, Bloom County.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll look it up.
So Opus was the I believe that was the penguin in it, and then there was a cat. But anywho,
Cute.
it's based on his best-selling New York seller best-selling book called I think it's called Pete and the Pig or something.
Pete and the
Hold on.
Pig. Turner and
No,
Hooch.
I don't know.
Pete and the Pig.
Pete and Pickle. That's what it's called.
Cute.
Based on the book Pete and Pickle. Jason Sudeikis is the pig.
Yes.
The bad guy is Rainn
Bring it
Wilson from The Office.
on.
So you get Rainn Wilson, Dwight from The Office as the bad guy.
Classic.
So yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yay.
And it comes out November 1st. Hit Pig.
Hit Pig. Okay. You know that I love
Oh my gosh, what are we getting to?
me some West Wing.
Okay. Yes.
You know that
Go
I
ahead.
love that. I've talked about
do
that
know
show
that.
a lot. I love the West Wing. I love how smart it is. I love how respectful everyone is. I like that it's punchy. I like that it's more mainly about like the people's lives than it being like political. Like I love West Wing. It's a comfort show. I'll sometimes just randomly watch episodes if I don't know what to watch. Aaron Sorkin has recently went to the White House, and after that, in an interview, he shared that he has some thoughts after being at the White House of some things that they didn't do.
So you're hoping we're going to get a new West Wing.
But I want it to be like the 1999, 2000s West Wing. Because all of the political shows nowadays are just mean.
Are they?
Yeah, like Veep or Scandal or what is it called? It's the one that has Buttercup in it. I can't remember what is it. It's like Upside Down. What's the political commentary? What's the Netflix show that has Buttercup in it? And had that one guy in it.
Buttercup.
No.
Oh, Buttercup from, I know who you mean.
Yeah. What's that show called?
Her name is something Right.
I don't remember what that. Okay, what's that? House of Cards.
Yes, House
Found
of
it.
Cards. Yeah.
But those are all like mean.
See, I never saw West Wing, so I don't know what to expect.
I want it to be respectful and kind.
All right. Well,
but I don't think respectful and kind is what's selling it in the media these days.
Not when it comes to politics.
Which is what the West Wing was. It was respectful and kind.
All right. Well, good
At
deal.
least in my opinion, I feel like somebody could watch it and be like, it wasn't respectful.
I have two president movies that I love.
American President.
And Dave.
Dave
is the one where a guy is asked to impersonate the president. He because the president has a stroke or whatever, and they want him to. Oh, you've not seen Dave?
I've never seen Dave. I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's great. You got to watch it. It's so good. It stars him. It stars Mike. What's his name? But Sigourney Weaver is the first lady in it. Anyway.
What do I like? I like American President. I like West Wing. That's not a movie. It's a TV show.
Well, and Independence
White House,
Day.
Yeah, Independence Day, White House Down.
Yeah, those movies. You're right. Those are good movies.
It needs to either be like funny and kind of like Olympus Has Fallen. Like,
yeah, gotcha.
Like, that's just silly.
Hey, we'll bring it all back because that girl is in the movie that we watched, Uglies movie. That's funny.
Yeah. She's the little girl with the presidential flag. But I'm really excited about that. I love the West Wing, and a potential spinoff I think could be really fun.
Okay. The new Hellboy movie, The Crooked Man.
Yeah.
straight to streaming.
Okay, how do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, it's going to go video on demand and straight to that in October. So this month. So it's not going to be in the theater. But here's the deal. I don't think they've advertised it hardly at all.
I didn't even know that it was coming out until I was looking at news this week.
Really?
No.
Okay. So I don't know. I don't know that it has big names in it that like David Harbour was the big draw for the last one. And it was not that great. And Mila Jovovich, Lilu Multipass.
Yes.
She was the villainess. So I don't know. Will I watch it? Maybe.
If it's free on a streaming service, yeah,
If
probably.
it's free on a streaming service. If it's not, I'm not paying extra for it.
I hear you. I saw this and just wanted to tell you that I didn't watch it because I tried to watch it and YouTube was like, sign in, we think you're a bot. And I said, no. And so I didn't get to watch the trailer. But Shrinking season 2.
I never saw the first season.
I thought that you watched it.
Nope, never did.
Never mind then. Not relevant.
Mm-mm. But it might be relevant to some people.
I'm not
out
even
there.
going to write it down. It's not even going to be in the blurb.
That's right. It's extra if you really listen.
If you really
You'll go,
listen,
"It
Shrinking
wasn't in the
season
blurb."
2. I didn't read that.
Okay, the Vision TV series.
Yes.
Did you see this?
Yes, they picked Jarvis and Friday.
The dude that is Jarvis in the Peggy Carter
Is Jarvis.
is going to be Jarvis, and the girl who really does the voice of Friday is going to be herself as a human Friday in it, and James Spader is back as Ultron.
Let's go.
So
He's spooky. That's the guy from Blacklist.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to it.
Live action Jarvis.
I know. I like the
And
Peggy Carter
Friday.
show. So Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. I thought it was good.
I like S.H.I.E.L.D. Bring
I
it
know, I
back.
liked it too. Oh, I got good news for that, but that's in my comic books.
Okay. Okay. I read about how Samuel Jackson, when he was first included to be Fury. Did you see
Yes.
this?
I vaguely just ran over it. I didn't
I just
read
thought it was so funny that he signed a 9-movie deal and he was like, how long do I have to live to make 9 movies?
How many has he been in?
I just thought that was so funny. I have no idea. I'd have to go and look in IMDb. But he then said, he's like, how long do you have to live to make 9 movies? And direct quote, it's not the quickest process in the world. I didn't know they were going to make 9 movies in like 2.5 years. That's kind of crazy.
That's fast, isn't it?
And then he said a curse word and said, I'm using up all my contracts.
Oh, that's funny.
I thought that was funny. He's
Yeah.
like, I signed this and then I was in all of them.
They because he was in the Secret Invasion. Is that what it was called? He was in that for a lot of it. And then he was just like, he made like a cameo in a couple things, just very small parts. So I don't know. I don't know what that includes in his whole thing. But anyway, my final piece of news is James Gunn is writing a Superman comic.
Okay.
And it's going to be drawn by Jim Lee.
Okay.
Who is the CEO of a chief creative officer of DC Comics and DC Entertainment. He's the guy that showed up at my comic book shop and signed autographs for free for an entire day. So it's like a big name, and his art is very, very recognizable.
He's the CCO.
I think so. Jim Lee. People know who it is.
James or Jim?
But Jim, Jim, Lee, Lee.
Crazy.
Mm-hmm. So
that's so cool.
Who knows? What about that? James
I hope it's good.
Comic book, Superman comic. I bet it'll come out just in time for the movie.
You think?
100%. You kidding me?
I read something.
9 million copies.
They, the guy who is playing Superman apparently had to like bulk up to 230 pounds. And he's like, none of my clothes fit.
He did the exact opposite of Dave Bautista.
Yeah, Dave Bautista went, none of my clothes fit. And that's because he bulked down. He did.
Yep.
He debulked. What was it?
Yep.
What? Cut? It's called being in a cut. I'm right.
Debulked.
No, you're in a cut phase when you're trying to.
Okay. I don't know
Yeah.
that phase.
Okay.
Anywho.
The last piece of news that I have is that Ridley Scott is developing a series of 3 graphic novels into animated series with Mechanical Cake.
I don't know what any of that is.
Ridley Scott. You know Ridley Scott.
I know who Ridley Scott is, yes.
He's like helping do 3 animated series based off of 3 graphic novels with.
But I've never heard these graphic novels before.
I haven't told you the graphic novels yet.
Okay.
Mechanical Cake is the people that are like in charge of the like cartooning.
Gotcha.
And if you Google Mechanical Cake, all it will take you to is pictures of cakes with like machines in them.
Sorry, Duff. Sorry, Ace of Cakes.
So if you're trying to figure out what Mechanical Cake is, me too. I couldn't find it.
That's
all I
funny.
found was pieces of, honestly, some very cool looking cakes with like machinery in them.
Okay, you steampunk cake.
That is not helpful.
Oh gosh.
Okay, so the 3 graphic novels are Maudeville, Hyde, and Nick.
Never heard of them.
Me either, but
So maybe I should get on my hoopla and see
and check
what it
out.
says.
I think the one that seems cool is Hyde. Hyde is where like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Hyde lives, and it's the like what happens if Mr. Hyde.
Okay. You know, I've heard no Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I have no clue what the story was. Do you?
No,
Brief.
but do you know what I do know about it?
What do you know about it?
This is the moment.
Oh, is
This is the day.
that from, what's that for? Is that from like
that's from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Hyde the musical?
He sings that when he decides he's going to take over the world. And that's song
hilarious.
that they sing when you walk down the aisle at the end of the Junior Miss pageant.
Distinguished young women. This is the moment. Yes. Great music.
This is the day.
I can't remember his name.
Tony.
Tony Douthit. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Tony.
Shout out to Mr.
Really
Tony,
sing.
who is literally the OG
Sharp
and
dress
is
man.
the kindest human being that you will ever
All right.
encounter.
Good
Who
deal.
donates his vocal prowess and talent
All
to
right.
distinguished young women every August.
All right. Well, that's it for news. And a shout out to Tony Douthit. I hope he's listening to the podcast.
He's not.
You never know.
But he was so kind to me in high school.
I know. Yeah, I agree.
He's a gentleman.
There you go. All right, Hannah. Binge time.
Yes.
What are you binging? Are you binging?
Over the Garden Wall.
Okay. Yes, because you had your party.
We had our Over the Garden Wall party. I have, if anyone was curious, the very best dad and the very best, sweetest parents in the entire world. Dad surprised us and sent us stickers of it's a rock fact rock for all of our friends. Enough stickers for every single person
Did they
who
like
came
them?
to our party, and everyone loved them. They were like, "We have a present for you from my dad," and everyone was like, "Your dad's so cool." I'm like, "He is." And the USPS, the United States Postal Service, were OGs, and they wrapped it in plastic and tied it.
It was
And
UPS.
UPS. Oh, well, then.
So they
UPS,
wrapped it in plastic?
They wrapped it in plastic and put it on our front porch.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Ups man.
Shout out to the
or
Upsman
woman.
ladies person.
Yeah.
And so we showed them to them before we started watching Over the Garden Wall, and they're like, "This is important." And I was like,
that's funny.
I was like, "Don't worry about it."
Don't worry about it.
And so we had a blast. It was me and Trevin and 3 of our friends, so it ended up only being 5 of us.
Okay.
But we watched Over the Garden Wall. It was really fun to watch our friends enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
we had one sweet friend, Rachel, who was not vibing with it, but was vibing being there while everyone else was vibing with it. And so
Okay.
she was like, it was just fun to watch you and Trevin try not to quote it.
Yeah. Not the truth.
I was like, right on. And honestly,
That's a rock fact.
That's a rock fact.
So they knew it
You
when they
have
said it.
beautiful eyes.
I got to go back and watch it.
Greg, you shush.
My friends are having a party this Sunday, but I'm not going to get to go, I don't think.
Bum.
It's Moco Day of Play.
Oh, well then, yeah. Moco Day of Play indeed.
There it is.
We watched Over the Garden Wall and it was wonderful.
Good deal. Okay.
We watched Hamilton. Pardon me. Are you Aaron Burr, sir?
You didn't throw away your shot.
That depends. Who's asking? Oh, well, sure, sir. I'm Alexander Hamilton. I'm at your service, sir. I have been looking for you. I'm getting nervous, sir. Classic.
It's great.
It's so good. It's coming to Memphis in February, which is our anniversary month.
Oh, you're going to try to go?
The tickets are too expensive. We've already looked.
Mm.
Womp womp.
Yep. There it is.
Bummer. Because neither of us have seen it.
Gotcha.
And so we really want to see it. But that is okay. It will eventually be cheaper.
It will. You're right.
Because Wicked was very expensive for a very long time, and now it isn't.
There you go.
So it will eventually be cheaper one day. But
we
watched Hamilton and sang the entire time. Trevin had not heard the story I'm about to tell all of our friends on the internet. Dad, many, many moons ago, when Hamilton first came out, was obsessed with the soundtrack.
Loved it.
Obsessed with the soundtrack. He and Mom went on a vacation to Mexico, and Mom sent us videos of Dad lip syncing while wearing a hat in the sun.
I do not remember this at all.
I received videos of you doing with your finger guns and like moving your feet and your shoulders. I have there are videos somewhere. I know that there are. Dad did not realize because he was listening to it on Amazon. Is that where you were listening to it? Amazon Music?
I was given a CD. One of you guys gave me the CD. And I didn't know that it was a 2 CD set. And so it had a CD on top, and you had to
open it
pry off the thing, and there was another CD.
And so Dad,
no clue,
only listened to the first act of Hamilton.
Didn't know that. I was like,
time.
What's the big deal? Great. He gets killed, but they don't even talk about it.
And
I mean, yeah.
But
anywho.
Very funny.
Yeah, so I have the CD.
We watched Hamilton.
CDs.
There are 2 CDs.
Yes.
So Over the Garden Wall, Hamilton. I've been watching Trevin play Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. He started playing it over again, which is my favorite thing in the entire world. We people watched at our favorite restaurant during the Alabama-Georgia game.
Wow. Did you stay there for the whole thing?
Fun. We stayed there for most of it and then decided, let's go home.
It got even crazier.
It got wild.
Yeah, it did.
But people watching during that game at our favorite restaurant was a fun time. And there was a video game that he started playing that I was watching that I think it's called like Gris? Gris video game?
It's the word. It's got groove. It's got feeling, meaning, something.
Gris. It's called Gris. Gris is a hopeful young girl lost in her own world, dealing with painful experiences in her life. Her journey through sorrow is manifested in her clothing.
Oh.
And so she, it's like a puzzle game, but with no words and you can't die. And so it's just
good deal.
He's just platforming and I'm just watching while I cross stitch.
Coolio. Yeah. Okay, well, we got more.
And I've also been listening to House of Sky and Breath Part 2 on graphic audio on Hoopla.
Okay. We went and saw Amy Grant in concert.
Woo!
Yep. She old, just like us. But anywho, we did that. We watched Surprised by Oxford.
What's that?
It is based on a memoir of a girl who goes to Oxford on scholarship and has a conversion experience there, but they really don't talk about the conversion experience much. It's more about a romantic how she meets her husband, basically.
Cool.
I was surprised by it. It was pretty good. I have been.
LOL. You were surprised by Oxford.
I was surprised how good it was, and it only cost 49 cents.
We love that.
I sent a text message out to the whole fam saying we had it for 48 hours, but
you did, and I was home for the weekend and did not watch it.
That's totally fine. It's up to you all. I have been watching videos on YouTube of how to play the new game I just got.
Yes.
So I got Comic Hunters, which is a card game about collecting comic books. And it is cool. So I was watching some videos on how to play it and how to set up gameplay, and it looks pretty easy, and it looks like it'll take about maybe an hour to play.
Fun.
It's basically a drafting game where you draft cards and you have to get points, and one thing is called, you go to the store, you go to the convention, you go to the auction site, you go to a flea market.
It's
basically 4 different ways that you draft cards, and then there is a value, and you try to get the most expensive collection, basically. So this game could be played with anything.
Mm-hmm.
It could be movie posters. It could be baseball cards. It could be any, like, records.
Yeah.
Just making your own collection, but they just, and it's, and getting points and the highest value. So it could be anything, but this is Marvel. This has been highly anticipated in the US because it's been in Brazil for 2 years, where I guess they didn't have to have the licensing for Marvel.
I'm dead.
But the game is only $22.
That's not very expensive.
But the game pieces aren't the best, but I ordered some stuff to go on them to make them.
Are you going to laminate them or something?
No, I bought some stuff from a guy on Etsy who created things to go over them to make them really sturdy. So, yeah.
We bought things like that for Azul.
Okay. Yes, I love Azul. I have been I'm watching the Rings of Power, and I got through maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then I just kept thinking how I'd rather just watch the original. So I'm now on Fellowship.
Okay. You're on Fellowship? That's the first one.
Yeah. So I started watching it.
I need everyone to know that on my drive home, I get and they call and they call it a mine. On Sunday at 6:16 p.m. And I am like,
it's not a mine. It's a tomb.
And they call it a mine. I'm like, is he like asking me a question? Like I did, because I was like driving home and I was like, did something happen? And
you
then
didn't get it?
And then immediately, no, I did get it because I remembered what it was. I was like, oh, Dad's watching Lord of the Rings. And then I texted back, speak friend and enter.
Yes, speak friend and melon.
Belloc.
I think it's an M. I think it's melon.
Is it?
I don't know, but it sounds like Belloc. Yeah. I had the closed caption on, and it thought it said looked like melon, but
maybe
who knows?
melon.
They don't know. But so I'm now in my J.R.R. Tolkien universe. I downloaded my favorite guy talking The Hobbit.
I was going to say
Hoopla.
I need, because you said I downloaded it and I immediately, my Hoopla is popping up. I need you to tell all of us what it is so that I can download it.
Okay, so on Hoopla, they have, let me pull it up here. I'm on Hoopla right now. Done.
We have, which one is it?
It is, so there is on Hoopla, there is an audiobook. It's The Hobbit, J.R.R. Tolkien, narrated by Bob Ingalls.
We like Bob Ingalls. That's who we like. Who's this guy?
Is that how you pronounce his name? Bob Inglis. Inglis.
Rob? R-O-B?
Rob, yeah.
Okay, sick.
Mm-hmm. That's it. And the cover of it has like a picture. It looks like one of the movies, like one of the hobbits is walking out of a hobbit hole.
Yeah, I see it.
And
That's
it's like
not
8
the
hours
OG
and-
cover.
That's not the OG cover, but that's the
It
cover I've
says
got
it's
now.
11 hours and 5 minutes.
That's about right. 11 hours and 5 minutes.
Okay.
I've got about 7 hours to go.
Did I
Yeah,
send
do you know where I am right now?
the spiders?
No. I'm at the Riddles in the Dark right now.
Classic.
Classic.
I'm so excited.
String or nothing.
Have you? Did I send this to you? Because I can't remember if I sent it to you or not. I think I did on Instagram, but I don't think you said anything back to me. Of the library in Indiana playing Chapel. So there's a Chapel Rowan song called Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl, and a trend that's happening on the internet right now, because at the beginning of that song, Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl, she like does a monologue about how she goes on this date and her date is awful. And so
No,
a trend
I
on
haven't
the
heard
internet, a trend on the internet right
I
now.
don't think you ever sent me this.
I did. I sent it to you. I sent it to you Thursday, and you never responded to it.
I must have never seen it
on Instagram. And so what I'm explaining the trend to you so that when you watch it, it makes sense. So they take this music from the beginning of Super Graphic Ultra Modern Girl.
Oh my
and
gosh, I've got stuff from 3 days I haven't even looked at.
So
Anywho.
people talk about it. People like do monologues over top of this song. And the intro to The Hobbit fits perfectly on top of it right before the beat drop.
Did I talk about how we went to a wedding and one of the songs in the opening
was concerning hobbits?
No, it was the Shire.
Yeah.
I was like, anywho.
Tender.
So I'm going to watch it. So
But
I just noticed that there was a whole bunch
You will
on
have to
there
watch
that I
that.
haven't looked
It
at.
is very, very cool. I would play it, but I don't. It's a very niche person that would think that. But I got that and I said, Instagram, this is peak.
All right.
Peak Instagram for Hannah. It's Chapel Rowan.
I think I've got 2 from you and 3 from Trevin and 3 from your mom I haven't even listened to yet. Slipping.
Ooh.
So I've got one more thing.
Okay, yeah.
I am reading a graphic novel. This was actually shared to me by Hector Mire because we recorded the pull list. So tomorrow, this will drop on one of his picks for his books. It's called Mythmakers, and it is a graphic novel about the history of C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien when they were growing up, and then how they became friends and how they worked in helping each other to create their own fantasy lands. It's really good. I learned some stuff I didn't know about. I mean, it's pretty, they've been through some rough stuff.
They were sweet. I remember because J.R.R. Tolkien is Catholic.
Again, I was surprised by Oxford.
Yeah.
I don't
Catholic?
know Tolkien's Catholic. He might be. I know that C.S. Lewis's family was, and then he became an atheist.
And then he became evangelical.
Yeah. So
J.R.R. Tolkien is Catholic, and C.S. Lewis was not, and that became like a point of contention.
It wasn't really a point of contention in this.
Okay, good.
They just So anywho,
I'm glad.
that's it. That's my binging. I can't wait to play my game on Thanksgiving.
I told Trevin about it because you posted a picture either in the family group text or something like that.
Yeah,
and I showed Trevin, and Trevin went, "That looks so cool." I said,
"Yep,
we're Thanksgiving it up in Kansas City this year. We're gonna miss
you're in
it.
Thanksgiving. Oh yeah. Oh well.
We're gonna miss it. Womp womp." And so we'll play it Christmas.
There you go. Yep.
Yay!
Christmas. All right.
Please don't whoop us. I want to be at least okay at it.
Okay.
Love, Hannah.
Love, Hannah.
Okay. Pull list. Yes?
Pull list. Yeah,
Friends,
that's it.
Pops is going to share with us his pull list. If you're like, Hannah, what's that? Friend, thank you so much for asking. There's no such thing as a dumb or stupid question. A pull list is what?
There isn't. We agree.
There is not. A pull list
dumb
is
or
the
stupid
list.
answers.
Third time's a charm. A pull list is a list of comics that you give the proprietor of your local comic book shop. And what they do is they pull from their inventory the comics that you're collecting. That way you can ensure that you have the books that you are wanting when you show up there on Wednesday, New Comic Book Day. You get a big old stack. Dad is going to share with us 5 books. He's going to share with us a DC book and a Marvel book. He's going to share with us an independent book, as well as a new #1. That way, if you are just amped and pumped and like, I want to start collecting comics, but I don't know where to start, goodness gracious, the numbers are so high, you can go out and collect this one. And he's going to share with us his book of the week, with his most favoriteest book he's collected this week.
All right. Well, let's just jump into it. Let's week, go. I had some books and it was hard to narrow it down.
You had good books then, huh?
I know. My DC book this is a long title.
Okay, I'm ready.
Batman, The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween.
Is it issue 1?
Issue 1.
Does Trevin know that this exists?
I don't know. This is a 10 issue. This is the final story told in the Long Halloween storyline.
We're going to need to tell him.
This was a story that was created by the original guys who did the first story, but the artist has passed suddenly, and so they're finishing the story with a group of different creators, the same writer. Different artists each time. They're going to be a different artist each book.
Is it a different, because part of what makes The Long Halloween so good is the art style.
Okay, this first book is gorgeous.
Okay,
They did so good at pulling Tim Sale, who was the artist, to channeling his energy in this book.
That's beautiful.
And so what this takes place a year after Robin is around. And there is a character that is starting to do things again, and it starts out with them kidnapping James Gordon's son, little boy, which is why I won't be collecting this comic book.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I am not going to do it. Just can't do it. So I'll wait for it to come out in the black and white, and I'll buy a graphic novel hard copy or whatever at Ollie's, which is what I did with the other one. But for people who, it looks really good. There's going to be so many artists that are going to collaborate on this. And actually, the original cover is drawn by the original artist who passed, because they had some pictures that he just didn't choose to use, so they put that as one of the covers.
Aww.
Yeah. My Marvel book is an annual. If people don't know, a lot of times what happens is the big people like Marvel and DC will have what they call annuals, which is just a throwaway story usually, or just one big story that they have that is sort of not within the main line. Sometimes it is, sometimes it isn't. Marvel has been running this story in different annuals, and this is the conclusion. This is called the Infinity Watch. So the Infinity Stones have chosen people to be their avatars. So the stones are in the people.
So we're watching, we don't have a watch.
No, the Infinity Watch, right? They watch over the Infinity Stones.
Gotcha. So it's not all of, gems. I immediately went to the Infinity Stones are in a watch.
No, they're not.
Okay, good. That would be silly.
Part of what has happened is Thanos, I don't know, did something wacky with death. And there's now a Death Stone. And the keeper of the Death Stone was a character that has been revived from the dead. And it is Phil Coulson.
Ah!
So
we love him.
I know. So this was Thanos trying to take control of the stones again at the very end of this.
Phil Coulson says, no, sir.
And this is the Avengers Annual is what it is. Avengers Annual 1. And they all work together to defeat Thanos. And they basically say, coming in December, a new comic book's going to be coming out called Infinity Watch. So these characters that have the stones are not well known. Some are like mild villains. Some are heroes that you really never heard about, and some are new characters that they don't get along. There's a lot of strife, and I think it may make for a pretty good comic book. So I've decided I'm going to get it when it comes out.
I love that.
Yeah. So my independent book is an Image book.
Woo! One of my faves.
It is Rouge Sun, S-U-N, issue 22. Rouge Sun is about a high school, he's out of high school, right around high school kid who discovers that his dad that left him and his mom used to be a superhero called the Rouge Sun, and he ends up getting his power. And now when he turns into the Rouge Sun, his dad is there. He can hear him, talk to him, and see him.
Ghost
He's like
of
a
his
ghost.
dad? No.
Yeah. But this has been really good. I like it. Rouge Sun. Get it?
It's Rougesun.
Rougesun. This is a very good superhero book. And it's about a guy who really doesn't know his powers. And last issue started a new storyline. So if somebody wanted to hop in and sort of get hooked up, you could. But it's a fun book. You get a lot of action in it. The kid has to go fight a villain that he's not prepared to fight. And it's basically a murder mystery because someone has been killed, and he was supposed to protect all the people there, and he goes to try to find out who it was. And now there's like someone trying to kill the main person. And yeah, so it's going to be pretty cool. All right. So my new number one is also an Image book.
Okay, Image today.
And this was not on my pull list. I wanted to get it, but they didn't get any at my store, or they didn't get any extras. So I had to buy it off Amazon or buy it off eBay.
Dang.
So there you go. It came yesterday. This is called The Moon is Following Us.
Oh, sick.
Mm-hmm.
Can I see the cover?
It's
spooky.
So it's
like a ragtag bunch of individuals on top of some like monster tentacles with like spears.
Yeah, it's a mom and a dad and a child.
That's cool.
Yeah. And it's created and drawn mostly by Daniel Warren Johnson, the guy who did Do a Powerbomb.
I was going to say, it looks like that.
Yeah. This book starts out with this mom and dad in this like, it's like a mesh of medieval dragon, like mecha world, and they're going to rescue their child. And they have to go get weapons from this creature, and they have to exchange. It looks like they exchange memories. I can't quite figure out what they did yet.
It's giving never ending story.
To get weapons. Well, it ends up that this whole entire rescue mission goes awry, and they have to retreat. And as they're leaving, the mom gets like a spear in her back, and you're like, "Oh my gosh!" And you turn the page, and they take off they're in a video game, and they turn the page again, and their child is stuck in this video game, and that's what they're doing. They're going in to get this child.
Oh,
It's called The Moon is Following Us because at one point they have a memory of the little girl, and they're like walking, and they're walking at night, and she goes, "That looks like the moon is following us." So this, I have a feeling it's going to be a tearjerker.
Well, here's the thing, dude. Powerbomb was a tearjerker.
Well, wait till you read Murder Falcon.
Your dog.
Hey, quit that. For those of you who are listening on, explain to them what's happening.
Oh, so dad, mom. Okay, so dad and I are doing the podcast. My sweet mom is downstairs doing yoga, and their puppy, whose name is Ginger, would be very much bothering my mom if Ginger was downstairs. And so Ginger is instead upstairs where dad and I are recording, and sweet baby doggy was getting into mom's fancy pillows.
Yeah, she'd already gotten into it, but before.
Had she?
Oh, yeah, but it is what it is. Here's the deal. It was from TJ Maxx, I think, so it's not like it's terrible.
Well, it's a cutie pillow. Sally just said, "Look at Ginger." Yes.
Yeah.
He's
So
so
Ginger's here.
cute.
So
She's the
anyway,
cutest doggy.
the moon is following us. I'm sure it's going to be a mini series.
Fun.
Pick it up. It probably would have been my book of the week, but I really wanted to have 2 Marvel books in, so I chose Amazing Spider-Man 58 as my book of the week.
Amazing Spider-Man 58. What's
58.
legacy?
Legacy number. Holy spicoli. 952.
Amazing Spider-Man 58, leg 952.
So they are building up to issue 60 because I think it's going to be the end of this creative team. And in this issue, one of the villains, who's really not been a big villain. I mean, he has been, he's been around, but he's not really been a major player. But he's like a thug, and he's basically taking over all the crime in New York. He took over for Kingpin when Kingpin's.
I was going to say, sounds like
he
a
filled
kingpin,
in,
if you will.
Yes. So, and in the last issue, his daughter, I think I talked about this, his daughter turned state's evidence,
Yes.
and he's flat out, this entire issue is Tombstone trying to kill his daughter and Spider-Man trying to stop it. And they're fighting the entire time. It's like fight the whole time.
Dang.
And at the end of the book, Tombstone takes Spider-Man out of a window, and it's funny because he goes, "You want to get crazy?" And that was the end of the book. And then they show the cover of the next book, and it's them crashing through this window. It says, "Let's get crazy," which is sort of like Batman. Want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. But oh well, yeah. So anyway, there you go.
Those are some good books, Dad.
I know they are good.
A lot of some good places for people to like hop in if they are wanting
Absolutely.
to pop in.
I know. There you go.
Yay!
Especially the moon is following us, and you can still get it rather cheap on eBay if you can't find, because I don't think you'll find it at your local comic book shop. So Hannah and I watched a movie on Netflix called Uglies.
We did.
And this it was funny because did you know about it before I sent you the message?
No,
You didn't know it was on there?
I didn't know it was there at all. I thought it was a miniseries. I thought it was a miniseries that was still under development. And you were like, no, it's a movie that's out right now.
Yeah. So I'm sure they'll do 2 more.
Oh yeah, easy peasy.
Maybe, you never know, right? But so Uglies is
I was gonna
a
say,
movie.
I want you to explain what you think the world is.
Yeah, because Hannah has read all these books
Multiple times in my youth.
Future dystopian future, basically, where in order they decided that the reason that everybody's mad and there's all this fighting and violence is because people are ugly, basically. And if you were good looking and had all this work done to make you beautiful, then you wouldn't be mean and you wouldn't want to fight and do all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So at a certain age, they didn't really tell us the age.
16.
Okay. I don't know that they mentioned that in the movie.
They do.
Do they? I just know, okay, at age 16, you get to have your pretty surgery, which you've been planning all along your entire life because your parents are pushing you to it. Like,
well, they
parents
take
have children.
their parents have children. Their parents raise you to a certain point, and then the parents drop you off and are like, "Well, see you again."
Beauty school. Yeah, at beauty school, which ain't really beauty school. It's a school where they indoctrinate you into what they believe
into wanting
in
this surgery.
Yeah, pretty much. So what happens is this girl who calls herself Squints because she squints. I didn't notice it. And the guy called Nose because he had a crooked nose, which I did notice. They share a
blood
scar
pact
on their hand. They a scar on their hand, and so they've been best friends forever. And he gets his surgery before her, like about 2 or 3 months.
3 months.
3 months. And they make a promise to meet each other at a certain time on a bridge. And he doesn't meet her. So she breaks into the party world where she's not supposed to go. And she gets caught. Not really caught. She gets found out there, and then she escapes and is saved by like
Shay.
a rebel
Yeah.
girl
on a floating skateboard.
on a floating skateboard. Yeah, on a floating skateboard. And
Hoverboard.
so then she's introduced to the Resistance,
Classic.
who
Don't want to be pretty.
Don't want to be pretty. They don't want the surgery. And they believe that this flower that they're planting is destroying everything.
Is destroying the ecosystem of the world. I don't remember that. I don't know.
They're burning it all down. And
I don't remember that at all.
There's more that happens into this. Basically, she is tracked. She has a change of heart, but too late. They already know where the Resistance is, and blah, blah, blah. And you find that there were two scientists who were working on a cure, basically.
Yeah, because the surgery.
So explain to me. Go ahead.
Yeah, so the surgery. Okay.
Yeah, from what I can tell.
Yes.
Hannah will tell me if this is true or not.
Yes.
This surgery is not just cosmetic. They mess with your head, too.
They change your brain chemistry and they add lesions to your brain. That way you are more easily pacified and you're more easily consumed by the frivolous nature of the party world. And you don't stay at the party world. You go there when you're 16 and you're there till you're like 30. And then you get shuffled to another zone when you're like 30. And
they don't talk about that.
They don't talk about that in the movie.
Yeah.
Like you learn that like as you read the books. But
you come to find out that there's uglies, pretties, and there's specials because they take some of the pretties and they basically turn them into fighting machines.
Yeah. Superhuman robot people.
Superhuman people, what they call specials.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Hannah.
Yes.
How did this go with the book?
Okay. So there were a couple things that I'm like, I don't remember this being in there. Like the orchid thing. But that also could have been something that my like 14, 15-year-old brain was like, this is dumb. And then just like
skipped over it. Yeah, like I could see that happening.
That could have been something my brain just went, just like deleted. But all of the like main strokes that I remember were in the book. Like,
good.
All of the main things that I like, and granted, it's been probably 10 years since I've read these books for the last time. So again, my memory, I don't remember every single instance perfectly, but her and Paris being good friends, her sneaking into the world, her meeting Shay, Shay being like the catalyst that like introduced her to the Resistance. Who's
the leader of the Resistance? What's his name? David or Daniel?
David.
Yeah, I thought he was the weakest link in the show. I thought his character was not that great of an actor. But anyway.
Yeah. And her and Shay and their group being tricky is like the term that they use, and it pops up more in the pretties.
Okay.
That they did like they pull tricks and they like do all of these things, which makes them a part of this like special crew when they get to the pretties that needs to happen for like the anecdote thing, whatever.
Right. Gotcha.
And so like them pulling tricks, them like floating on the water in the hoverboards. I remember that vividly. I remember the roller coaster vividly.
That was cool.
That was really cool. I remember Shay's instructions to get to the smoke.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember
the
that.
Smoke is that's where they're burning everything. That's why it's called the smoke. The Resistance place. I could tell this could have been a teeny bopper book.
Right?
I could tell. Yeah.
But I mean,
so I want to know, I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
So at the end of this, she decides to go undercover and become pretty to help them do something. Did she still have her scar? I couldn't tell.
She did.
Okay, that was the issue. I couldn't tell when it was on the screen. I was like,
she kept her scar, which is supposed to be like a signal to the viewer that Tally is still Tally.
But is she?
Yes.
She had the surgery?
She had so that's the thing that happened. So Tally is told by the leader, whose name I can't remember
she's
now.
She's creepy.
Who's literally terrifying.
And she just stands there with her arms like this, or behind her, or in front of her.
Face is spooky, and she's just such a tall lady.
Yeah, tall and imposing.
Scary.
Anyhow.
And she's told to go back in to get Shay. And they're like, we need you to infiltrate the smoke, otherwise you're not going to turn pretty. Is how they convince Tally, because Tally really wants to be a pretty.
Yes, right.
And so she goes at the beginning.
At the beginning and middle, until the end.
So she
last fourth, maybe.
She goes to the smoke by herself. and is wearing a necklace that
Right.
she is telling everyone is from Paris, which is her good friend.
Right. But it's a tracker.
But it's a tracker. And it was very clever because there was never a tracker that you could self-activate. It was always a tracker necklace that once it's destroyed, sends out a tracker beacon.
So she destroyed it because she didn't want them to track her anymore.
Thinking
and that let them know.
That actually was what activated the tracker beacon.
Yeah. That was pretty stupid.
Which is just wild.
I guess, though, people would do that, right?
I mean, yeah. Like, if you, like, wanted to, I don't need this. I'm going to throw it over a cliff, or I'm going to burn it in a fire or something
Maybe they
like
should have
that.
put it on like a tiger or a bear. I don't know. I'm just saying a dog.
And so Shay is there at the smoke. Shay and Tally are very best friends.
They get captured.
And there's like a little love interest thing that happens because Shay is also interested in David. That's like not very
well. They don't touch on that.
No,
they don't
it's
touch
not.
that.
It's not in the movie, but it's in the books a lot. And David is more interested in Tally than in Shay. And then Shay gets taken back and gets turned into a pretty, and they won't force the anecdote on Shay because Shay is like, I don't want you. I want to be a pretty. Why don't you want to be a pretty? Well, because she has brain lesions on her.
Right.
Dear sweet friends.
Gotcha. But that doesn't happen in this movie.
No, it does.
No,
it
doesn't.
Yeah, they take Shay back to like the abandoned place, and they're like, "Give her the anecdote." And Maddie's like, "I can't give her the anecdote. She doesn't want it anymore."
I don't remember that happening in this movie.
Yeah, because then Tally says, "I'm Tally Youngblood. Make me pretty."
I'm gonna have to go back and watch the last part.
Yeah.
Maybe I fell asleep. I don't think I fell asleep. I watched the whole thing.
The creepy lady is called Cable, Dr. Cable.
Yeah. All right. She's creepy.
Anyways, all the broad strokes were there, which I really appreciated. It was fun. It was fun.
It was a fun movie.
It was fun for me to watch it.
I like it. It was okay. Yeah.
Is it going to win an Oscar?
No, gosh, no. No, not at all. But if you are a fan of the books,
I wouldn't even say that it's a C or D movie. I would say that it's like a C+ or B-.
I mean, yeah, it was good.
It's not the worst Netflix movie we've seen.
Gosh, no, that would be a Princess for Christmas.
Not in a, or the Thunder.
Oh, Thunder. That was horrible.
That was awful. This was good.
No, the stupid Halloween one that I didn't finish.
The house one, Dad. That I watched all of it and you didn't.
I did not.
This is
I bailed.
We've watched
far
worse movies.
We have.
I'm not selling this really well.
It's a good movie. I like it. It was good. I'm interested to see. I hope they finish it because I think the message they want to get across won't come across until the movies are all fit, until the series is finished. So,
and
it's on Netflix. It's PG. 13. Might just be PG. Was it PG-13?
PG-13. I don't want to spoil it, but it gets really good. And there's a character that we haven't met yet that plays a pivotal role. His name is Zane.
All right, Zane.
And she joins the Tricky Pretty like subgroup. And I remember the whole thing to do when you're in Pretty Land is to just get cosmetic surgery after cosmetic surgery. And so she gets rubies in her eyeballs that tell the time backwards and upside down.
That's ridiculous. That's crazy pants.
That's the one thing. And then they like fall through like a floating ice.
I thought you said you weren't going to ruin this.
That's not ruining anything.
Like, come on, 2 years from now when
you're not going to remember this at all.
No, you're right. No. It's like Rebel Moon. I'll have to go back and rewatch it to even know what's happening. So anyway.
But I really liked it. How many cosmetic surgeries would you give it, Dad?
I'd give it 2.5. I'd give it a tummy tuck and
I'm dead.
I'm
dead at you.
And an eyebrow, an eye lift. Whatever those things called.
So a 2.5 out of 5 is what you'd give it?
And just one half of your nose fixed.
2.5. I would give it. I'd give it a 3.5.
There you go.
I'd watch it again.
I don't know if I'd watch it again just because it feels like a teeny bopper movie.
That's because it's a teeny bopper movie.
And it feels weird for a 56-year-old guy to go, I'm just going to watch this teeny bopper movie. It seems like there's something wrong with that. So
when does it become weird for a lady to say, I'm going to watch a teeny bopper movie?
I don't think ever.
Okay, love it.
As long as it's not like I don't think ever.
Okay, love. Then
There you go.
I probably will watch it again.
Yeah, I'll have to watch documentaries on like foot fungus or something. That's what I'll have to do.
Or of the Roman Empire.
Yeah, I would watch that.
That's the whole joke about men is that they like think about the Roman Empire like once a day.
I do not. I do not think about the Roman Empire.
That was an Instagram meme a long time ago.
That's funny. Although, since I've been in Rome, it'd be pretty cool. When in Rome, think of the empire. All right. Well, that's it, guys. Yes, this is a good movie. I think you could watch it with your teeny bopper girl. I think your young girl, 13, 12.
And read the books.
And then talk about it.
Read the books with your kids and talk about it.
Yeah, and talk about how you don't have to be that. Well, and be who you are. Because you are special inside.
You're beautiful.
Not only are you special and pretty, but you're ugly too. Wait, don't tell them that. All three. Although I think we are a little ugly sometimes. Anywho, friends, Romans, countrymen.
Friends, thanks for hanging out with us on our little corner of the internet. Hey, our intro music is made by Brockwell Nason. Thanks for doing that for us. You can check him out anywhere you listen to music at Brockwell Nason Music. My dear sweet brother made our logo in Microsoft Paint. He is wonderful. Thanks for doing that for us, Nate. I edit and upload our podcast, and Dad edit and uploads our videos.
Which I've got 3 to do now. P.S., just so you all know, P.D. Wilson does not think about the Roman Empire ever. So
right on.
There you go. Right on, PD.
Me either.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us on this lovely adventure. We got 3 more to go till we reach 100. Hang in here because we are, and we can't wait to celebrate that with you.
Yay.
Until next time, y'all, we will catch you on the flippity flop.
Bye, friends.
Bye, guys.